Hello everyone! Today we're going to have a tutorial on how to make animated doors in Unturned. We're going to look at two existing types of doors, barricades and objects. Also, at the end of the video, we'll look at other types of animation in Unturned. And let me remind you that if you don't have basic knowledge of how to work with Unity and create objects, this lesson will be hard to you. Therefore, if you don't have such knowledge, check out our first lesson in this series, how to make objects in Unturned, which will also cover Unity setting. As always, we need to have Blender and Unity. Now let's talk about methods for creating animated doors. There are two main methods. You can do the animation through Unity or through Blender. In this video, we're going to do the animation using Unity. Why Unity? First of all, it's easier. Secondly, Blender has a lot of settings and limits that can prevent you from making the right animation. And lastly, if you make an animation using Blender, you can only animate position, rotation and size, while Unity allows you to animate much more, such as materials. Open your Blender, take our model and create a bone. Shift+A, Armor tool. Next, if we have a light animation, one bone will be enough, but if our animation is more complex, we need to add several bones. For example, I'll take my door, which has 6 elements, but in this case, we'll need to create 7 bones. Why? We need one parent bone to which all the others are attached. Why? You see why later. Set the coordinates of the bone at the 0 and set the coordinates of object to 0, 2. Next, go to the Edit mode and create additional bones. Also, if you need to best visible your bones, go to this menu, Viewport Display, and In Front. Now set the right position for your bones. I need to make 6 bones somewhere here. And next, go to this menu, and attach the bones to the main one, like this. Click on your bones, click on Parent, and choose first bone. Do same for all bones. And also you must know the center of rotation, movement and size will be at this point on the bone. For example, use pause mode. You can see where is center. Okay, go next. Exist two options for moving our faces or models. You can make a separate elements as separate objects and attach it to the bone separately, but we will use weight and only one object. What is weight? This is a parameter that tells you how much the individual edge should move behind the bone. Okay, let's go to attach a bone to our model. Click on our model and Shift plus click on our bones. Now, click on Ctrl plus P and with automatic weights. Now we can go to pause mode and see how it's working. Work almost good, but we need to change it. Go to object mode, click on bones, and also choose the door. Go to weight done, weight plane, and you can choose your bones and see how it's colored, how edge is colored. Red color means that the edge will move completely behind the bone. Blue means it will not. Yellow means it will move, but not too much, and so on. Also, the weight allows us to move not whole model, but only a part of it, That means by deform it. Okay, how to edit our weights? For example, choose any bones. You can see now this model move completely behind our bones because it's full red. You can set weight, for example, on 0.1 and just draw it. You can see our color is changed. Now we can take this bone, paint another edges. You can see how it is working. And also another methods. You can go to edit mode, on tab, click on your edges, for example this part. Now you can go to this menu, choose the weight that you need, and Ctrl+X. Now you set your weights on these edges. And now you can see that the additions faces are colored also with a gradient, since they are connected. Now I want to animate the magic door. That is that the wooden parts are deformed. To do this, I will make that extreme faces will be attached to the main bone, its main parent bone, and the middle one to the bone with animation. So let's make it. Okay, now we have something like this. Now I'm showing you a pretty heavy example, but you can make just one bone that just goes to the side. Also, let's make another bone. We'll need it for the collider in the future. Go to the edit mode and just copy any bone. And clean weight from this bone. Go to the weight menu, choose all, and set weight to the 0. And now we must name these all objects for the game. First, click on the bones and change name on skeleton. Click on our model and change the name like model 0. Next, go to the bones menu, choose any bones, click on this menu and change bones name. Main bones have to have name like angle. The other bones should have name like hang plus number. For example, hang 1, name for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and last one 6. Check your scale parameters. If you have scale more than 1, then click on Objects, Apply, and Scale. Also do it for our skeleton and its bones. Now, if you need two lots, click on your model, click on Shift plus D, and you make the copy. Name this copy like model 1. Click on Unvisible the main model, and make this model easy. This will be your lot, but my model already easy, so I don't need lot, so I just delete this. Now leave your Blender and go to the Unity. Create a folder for your mod. Right click, create folder, and name it wherever you want. For example, door object 1. Go to the hierarchy, right click, create empty. Name it like object. AD necessary component for our object. For now it's just lot system. Click on add component and find the lot. I have just one lot, so I need to delete this. And set the red part on the 3%. Also, door object also have sound component. Go to the add component and find audio source and click here. Set some setting, for example, range, and not logarithmic. Let's be linear. And also find this line and choose 1. It's very important and necessary. Don't forget about this. Now go to search menu and find counter 0. And you can see two folders. Choose folders where is located in assets game sources. What we do now? FBX for door have a special setting. There are a lot of them, so let's create a template for the setting. Go to the model 0, click to here, and save. Choose any folder and save to any name. For example, FBX anim set, and save it. Back to your folder. Right click, show in Explorer, and copy the path. Now back to your Blender, choose your model and bones, file, export, FBX, paste your path, and click on selected object, apply scaling, FBX unit scale, delete the animation, click on X axis and second lines minus Y axis, and also delete add leaf bones, and export FBX. Very important thing, don't forget about this please. When you export with this setting, you will no longer be able to open your FBX in Blender. So if you need this model in the future, save your Blender project. Okay, back to the Unity. Click to our door here and choose our template. And click on apply. Okay, settings is ready. And you can see what setting there's an example have. Okay, now choose your door FBX and move it to the hierarchy under the object. If you have transform not like 0, please set on 0. Also, you can see the animation component. Click on this line and choose always animate. It's also necessary, don't forget. Now, for best editing, let's better to unpack this file. Right click, prefab, and unpack. Now let's choose layers and text. Choose all. And let's set the medium, because we have a medium object. And also medium layers. Yes, change. Now go to your door game object and rename it to the int. And a little bit a theory. Why we change the name and make such system. Doors work in the game through the script. And if you have the wrong names, for example, not root 1, it will be not work in the game. So please don't forget set the right names. Why we did the main bone like hang and make the additional bone like hang 6. It's also need for system. What system? Sometimes happens a bug when you try to activate a door and the triggers doesn't work. This may be an incorrect system. That means if you name the have incorrectly parameters, the triggers will not work. I mean the hang system. For example, you can make not such system and system like something this, like hang and hang 1. Such door will be works, but if you make box collider on hang 1, this box collider will not a trigger in the game, so you can't open the door, click it on this collider. You can open the door, click only on this collider. But in such system, you can set your collider to any bones and all collider will be triggered. I hope you understand what I mean. So let's move next. And the next we must make box collider. Why we did last one bone? Unlike the faces, the colliders cannot deform. So we need to make a separate bone that will pull the collider to the side, allowing the player to pass through the door. So click on the add component, box collider, choose the material. I need material like wood. And set the right size for your collider. Size under your model. On the screen you can see the icon. This icon we must make. How to make it? Click on the hang and create empty. Name this empty game object like target. And delete the layer. Where is this target? Have the position. In this position will be an icon in the game. Let's look on my door example. You can see I have the two targets to here. That means when I look to the collider of this bone, the position of my icon will be from this target and also works for this target. If I see on this bone, I will see icon on this position. And also if you have not one target, name it like target 0 and target 1. And in my case, the colliders on other bones don't need, because these colliders play the role for distorting the model, just for animation. If my example is hard to you, you can look at my simple example. It's a simple door. Have just one hang on target, and simple animation. It's box collider, and it's all. Okay, back to my example. And now let's make the animation. Go to the animation menu. If you don't have this menu, go to the window, animation, and click on here. Now click on create. Choose the name your animation like open and save. Back to your file animation, click and choose setting clamp forever. And go back to your animate panel. Now let's create the animation. We must to make time key. How to make it? Choose any hang, click on this red button, the record button, and if you change, for example, position and rotation, it will be make a key with these parameters. For example, we change rotation and key was created. But don't forget back your parameters to the 0. Also for position. And also in Unity you can add animation of material, for example, color changes and the light. But now let's make a simple animation for our door. Okay, not quite simple, but let's create. Let's make all case for our all hang. Now click again to record and click to any position on the timeline. And let's make our animation. And now let's look how our animation is looking. You can click on the play and see. Also, I want to change the size. So let's make the size K for our animation. Created case. And now let's change. Yeah, now it's look better for me. Also, we just make a vision animation. Now let's make to animate for our hang 6 and pull it over to the side. Now our player can pass through to the door. So let's make the close animation. How to make it? Click on Ctrl plus A and copy it. Ctrl plus C. Create new clip. Name it like close. Usually the close animation is like same animation but to another side. But you can make any kind of animation. Okay, fast and go to reverse animation. Move it to the end and just reverse to the 0 point. Okay, it looks good for me. Set your texture. And also the sound. back to your main object and drag your sound to this component. It's the sound when your door will be opened. You can use also any sound what you want. For example, Nelson's or your own. I have my own sound. And also set the right setting if you have your sound. Now let's save it. Drag this unpack object to our folder. Now our object is almost ready. Now we must set right setting to that file. But before it, let's look at the counter. Example. In this example, you can see only two bones named as left and right, and also two models. This system also works, but only if you have two bones. For more, it's better to use mind system. And there is also non-animated model that plays the role of a kitchen table. And it looks like bedside table, but it is the same door system. Now let's create that file system. Go to your bundle folder and let's make Nelson example to make our own that file. Go to object and find, for example, counter 0. It's a good example. Right click, show more options and open file location. Now let's copy this folder and name it like whatever you want. My.example. Also don't forget your .file should have same name as like folder. To English and name, choose the right name. Test. Its name will be visible in the edit map. And like as always, we must make our GUID and AD. Example, that number. And you can go to our forum, link be under the video, and go to the GUID generator. Generate some GUID, copy, and paste. And save. Now, what is all these lines mean? Binary state. It means that object will change between two states when instead with such as open and close the door, like in our case. Delay. It's a delay in second, the cooldown before the object can be interact again. It's mean if you don't have that your animation be like incorrect when you click fast on F, it's mean on interact. You can set delay. Reset. Reset is the also delay before interacted object will be reset or destroyed or respawned if you use another object types. For doors, it's working like after 16 seconds, doors will close it again. Hint. It's a localization key to use for interact prompt. This setting needs to the door, so just keep it. Toggle. It's how the interactable object should appear in the level editor. It's mean if we delete this line, our door will be spawned on the map closed. But if you keep these lines, our door will be closed. My door will be closed, so just deleted. Has clip prefab. It's a familiar line for us from the first lesson. Now we must to set our two lines because we use not master bundle Unity 3D file. So to make this work, we must to pass these two lines. And again, these lines you can find on our best forum. Okay, now copy the path. And also don't forget for the close animate, also set clamp forever setting. Now choose window, bundle tool, paste, and save. And also rename it. Okay, let's go to game test it. We're in the game, so let's look to our door. You can see all looks good. But I forget one details. To close this door, I also need to click on collider. But I have just one collider that pull to the side. So when door is open, I can click to this part. So just we must to fix it. Let's go back to Unity and fix it. Let's just make a simple small collider to our another bones. It's also wood. And as this collider will not deform like object, it's need to make it really small. Okay, our collider is ready. Also, we can make target system more complex, like in previous example. So let's make it. This will be target 0. Okay, apply all. Again, window, turn it, bundle tool, grab. Choose the UID and reload. And don't forget to the reload object, we must to exit from the map and back again. Okay, you can see the close icon. It's also changed and move to our colliders like we did. Also, one thing, delete this parameter to the play on awake, because I noticed in game when door just spawned, I do not touch door, but sound it's on. It's need to fix, so just remove this parameter. And now it's a barricade part. How to make door like the barricade. We don't make lesson about barricade yet, so I don't be explain all small thing. I explain just what is necessary for the door. Okay, at first, let's go to find example. Go to the search and find jail door. Look on the folder that located on the core master bundle. Okay, you can see prefab for the animation, prefab for the item have model and icon. its model will be on the ground, in inventory, in the hands, and in the hands will be animation from this prefab. We will look about the animation for item in the next lesson, not now. And also, item component have a icon. Icon is the camera that render item and render model to the inventory, NPC, and another stuff. Now we can remember now from the object lesson, it's the box collider for the animals. If we delete nav component to object, it means that animals and zombies will be passed through to our model like object or barricade, wherever. And barricade door. You can see the barricade door have a similar system like is object, but don't have root. Actually, in barricade game object main, he play role like object and like rule. If we compare these two modes, object and barricade. So, how to make barricade object? Go to create folder, barricade door, sorry. Let's name it like door bar. We must do almost same way like we did with objects, but with some difference. Okay, unpack our barricades. Don't change the first prefab, Nelson example. And now click on your FBX. Also FBX is the same, completely same. Drag your door under the barricade. And this exists two ways. First way, you can click on the pack and just drag these two components under the barricade and delete the door. Or you can drag your door to hierarchy, click and pack, and name the door game object like barricade. And you can see it's the same system. But better to use example because you can forget about something. For example, about placeholder. And it's the one difference. What does mean placeholder? Placeholder is needed to connect the door to the slot. If you remember, we make slots on the first lesson, objects. So placeholder need to right connect your barricade to the slot. And also another different types. Barricades have another placeholder. On the screen you can see size placeholder for the hatch, window and the gate. I will use the first way because I don't want to make placeholder again, but if you want, it's the setting. You can just copy it and paste. Okay, and also what to need to know. Object, door object, they can have the wrong position and rotation. Why? Because in map editor you can rotate, you can set the another position your door, whatever. But you can do the same for the barricade. So why is example better? Because you can see the Nelson example, and you can take your model and past position absolutely same like the Nelson. And in the game, it's all will be good. You can see now my door have wrong position, so just click on the skeleton and let's make the right position. Let's rotate and position. Okay, now it's good. Next, we can delete old model in skeleton. Also, I said it's a such system. It's Hank, box collider, target. And next, you must to make same ways, same steps like we did with object. It's mean make the target, make the colliders, make the layer and text, because Barricade have surprise barricade text and layers. Barricade. Also, you must to make our own animation, because it's standard version animation. It's not good for us. So you can just delete this component and make new. Or just click on animation, animator, create new clip, open, choose another folder, save, and drag your animation to the first line. It's necessary for the open. And you change your animation. You can make it now again and the next. But if you already have object example like we did, you can just take our colliders, targets, just from our object. Just drag your model and skeleton, set to skeleton 0 coordinates. Also, we can copy coordinates from this skeleton. We'll already set the position. Delete it. So, okay, now we have good setting for colliders, targets, and also we must to copy the animation component, past component values. That's the object. And drag your model to the lot. Also. And don't forget about the sound. Like I say, it's the same ways for the object, but difference is the root. And barricade door, it's ready. Now just drag your barricade almost ready, because we need to change layers and text. And target do not have layers and text, so no, this object only. Drag and save. And find the again jail, because we also need animation, item, and now. Select cassette and drag its all into your folder. We must to change item model to our door. But Nelson make some cheat system, because if we change the model here, we can rotate or change the position or size. Why? Because the main component, you can rotate, move, change the size, but it's not will work in the game. If you want to change the model size, you must to change the model size, not the barricade, because in game it will be not working. Okay, but we can just make cube object and change our model, set the material, and rename it like model 0. Click on the box collider and reset. And make the right position and rotation. Use just Nelson position example. Nelson always, almost always, accepts the system. Make good stuffs. And a little bit precise. Go back to item and delete these two components. If you want to know how your icon will be visible in game, go to icon, add component, and find camera. And now you can see the position your icon. And if it's incorrect, you can set your any setting. And save. And okay, our barricade door is ready. About the .dat file, we can also use Nelson example, door jail. It's also GUID, it's also AD. Size, it's your size item in the inventory. Health, I mean, I know how to explain more. It's health, how many HP your barricade have. Range, how far barricade can be placed. Radius, it's the radius of the placed ban around the player. Offset, offset is the height of the barricade. If you use this door as example, then you do not need to change this parameter. But if your door, for example, too much higher, you can change just offset, for example, just 1. Locked, it means the door is locked under the player. Explosion, it's the idea of the effect when barricade is destroyed. It's our craft. We don't need craft. We can delete this. Armor tier high. The door can only be broken by armor bullets. Placement audio clip. It's the for master bundle. We have a different situation. We have Unity 3D file, so just delete it. And has clip prefab. We are already talking about this. Just don't touch. And your doors is ready. You also can go to our forum, can go to the Nelson documentation, find the barricade, and find also another setting to the barricade, like in the object. Okay, we're in the game, so let's test our door. Click, choose, you can see our icon works good, equip, and set. All works fine. And now let's talk about animation in general. We can add visual animation to any mod, vest, hat, vehicles, object or barricade, anything. Let me show you to make simple animation on an item. For example, let's go to the hat. Let's find hat example. Okay, select the model 0 and go to the animation tab and create. Again, choose any folder. Test 1 and save. You can see that component has been created here. The thing is that is animation created through animator, while our door has a different structure because it works through a script. Let's make such animation. For example, I want to make a flicker. So let's make first key. Click on the timeline and to high. It's a simple animation. And also this prefab, this animation prefab, have a different setting, only loop time. And circles. Circles, you need to loop it. I mean, if you don't need that your animation works like circle, just delete the loop setting. If need, click. I don't need, I want to make just one animation. And it's done. Your animation will be working in the game, but again, it's a visual animation. You can make this animation more harder. For example, create new clip and create test 2. For example, I want to make rotation animation. I will copy the last key, paste, and make the rotation sync. But now you can see the rotation animation have some problem. How to fix it? Choose all, Ctrl+A, right click, and auto. Now it works good. But now I want to make something like first animation test 1. It's moving to up, and after it just loop animation to rotation. Save the loop setting and go to window, animation, and animator. And click on model 0. You can see some strange system. What does it mean? When you object spawned, HUD, it's spawned also entry. After entry spawned, animation will go into this line to the test 1, to the our first animation. Next, we must to make another way, next way to the next animation. Right click, make transition, and on the test 2. Now, when your object been spawned, animation will go to this line, to this animation, and next to this. Also, you can set some condition this line is, but it's need to the triggers, it's need to the scripts. How to work with Nelson scripts, we will look in the future, not now. And also you can make some not only rotation, size, or moving. Let's make it's like glowing animation, for example. Let's go to material and let's make animation at first. And now back to model 0, animation, S2, click on the record and change the color. You can see K here. It's ready. Click to here and for example color on dark and again to white. Okay, it looks better. Looks better. And also you can do much more things with effects, I know, shaders, materials, whatever you want. But remember, it's a visual animation. It's mean if you use such methods to make, for example, door, at first, door will be not working by click on F. It's first. Secondly, box collider will not work on this animation. It's very important. And also, visual animation, it's not synchronized. It's mean when you see this item first time, your animated just started. But while another player, animation is already in progress. So don't forget about this. And also I remind you that the animation of doors is limited only by your imagination. You can make a simple one, you can make a whole sci-fi door, which change materials, light, and so on. So, I wish you good luck, and that's all. See you later.